up, everybody? I'm Geeter, and here I am, south side of the Manhattan Beach Pier, and I just wanted to welcome everybody to the 4th annual 2014 Beach Volleyball Hall of Fame. This is going to be a spectacular night, and I know you're all a little bit confused and maybe bummed because you thought Chris Marlowe was supposed to do this. Well, he can't. He's in Denver, and then they asked for Paul Sunderland, and then he was busy, and it just kind of went on down the line. So I was the 11th choice, which makes me so proud, and I'm so excited to be a part of this wonderful night. Now I'm going to hand it over to, in my opinion, the greatest MC in all of sports, my mentor in life and in sport. And by the way, he should be in this Hall of Fame, and when he is, I'm actually going to show up. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy the Tank Arico. Take it away, Jim.
Without further ado, thank you, Geeter, and I can't wait for you to induct me and, well, maybe that guy Sam Lagana into the Hall of Fame at the same time. Sammy, God bless you for being here, and everybody else for being here, so thank you very much. It's going to be a fun show, and we're going to get right to it.
Time now to meet your male and female 2014 top beach volleyball players in the entire world, ladies and gentlemen, the universe. You know him and you love him. He's the South Bay's favorite son, and what a 2014 he had. He won the Manhattan Beach Open, and he won 3 Grand Slam gold medals on the FIVB Tour. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, he calls 8th Street in Hermosa Beach his home. He's out of Redondo Beach Union High School. He has 23 titles to his credit. He's a 2-time Olympian, 2008 and 2012. In 2012, he was MVP of the entire world. Since Baby Tate came into his life, there is no kryptonite, and he cannot be stopped. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, he is the son of Jarrell, the leader of the free world known as the Raiders. Say hello to Sean Rosenthal. And of course you know her and you love her. Out of Archbishop Mitty High School, a 2-time national champion and a 4-time first-team All-American out of Stanford University. She captured your heart in 2004 with a gold in Athens. She validated it in Beijing, China with another gold in 2008. In 2012, at the London Olympic Games, she got her 3rd gold medal and solidified herself as part of the greatest beach volleyball team in history. In 2014, she capped off a remarkable run on the AVP Tour, going undefeated. And in 2016, and you can book this, she will win gold in Rio, and she will become the greatest of all time. She's the winningest player in the history of beach volleyball on the women's side with 124 titles. She is a beautiful mother of 3. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, put your hands together for Carrie Lee Walsh Jennings. I'm out.
I mean, Geeter not say it all. Manhattan Open champions, gold medals. They're fantastic. We love them, and we appreciate them here tonight. So they're going to be helping us present the Cal Cup state champions for 2014, and also the CBVA champion high point totals for the 2014 season. So ladies and gentlemen, before you, I'm going to let them go. I cannot do a better job than Geet, but I'm so proud of our 2 outstanding athletes up here who not only spend tonight giving back, but spend a majority of the time off the court giving back. Both these individuals, I am proud to have announced and watched them grow from little freshman at Stanford, and some guy, I'm like, who's the guy that hits as good left-handed as right-handed? You kidding me? Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause for the 2014 Athletes of the Year in the sport of beach volleyball, Carrie Walsh-Jennings and Sean Rosenthal.
Yeah, we're going to welcome in some newbies, by the way, some rookies, national champions out of USC. A lot of you didn't even know there was a national championship in sand volleyball. Well, there is, and they won it for USC.
Beach volleyball. Beach volleyball.
Well, I know, I call it beach volleyball, and it drives me crazy when I read articles and see people calling it sand volleyball. I was trying to be technical with it, but yes, we all know it is beach volleyball, and they actually won a national championship. Kirby Burnham and Sarah Hughes, I've watched them both play since they were young kids. I've coached against them. They are fantastic, and they are going to represent the United States in beach volleyball for a long, long time. National champions.
Oh, the dime roll. That's it. Congratulations to Kirby Burnham and Sarah Hughes.
Thank you. Am I talking?
It's on.
It's an honor to be up here and to be part of the first collegiate national championships. I'd also like to bring up Stevie Robinson, who is a national champion and an All-American at USC in 2013.
By the way, Maricosta grad as well, if I'm not mistaken, Stevie, so come on up, girl.
Steve, you need your medal and your honor. And then I'd like to hand this over for a second to Sarah Hughes to just let you know a little bit about collegiate sand.
Well, first of all, thank you for this recognition. I'm so blessed to be able to play sand volleyball in college. Kirby couldn't be here tonight, but I'm going to take this award to her, but thank you so much.
Hi, this is Dane Selznick. I'm sorry I can't be here tonight, but I know all of you are having a great time. Barb Fontana, it's finally your time. You're getting the Hall of Fame award. You were fun to coach in the Olympics, and I had a great time working with you on the sand. Bob Clem, one of my favorite partners back in the 70s. It was fun playing with you too. And Jose Loyola, didn't get to coach you, but I love watching you play. You were one of my favorite players on the beach for all those years. Larry, what can I say, Larry? You were one of the best, and it's about time that you're receiving the honorary award. Have a great time, everybody.
All you need to know about Larry Rundle is 520. That's Rundle's tournament winning percentage on the volleyball tour. A better winning percentage than St. John Smith, better than Kent Steffes, Randy Stoklos, Phil Dahlhauser, and yes, better than Karch Karai. In fact, he's the only male player to win over half of the tournaments he entered. Rundle's short 7-season career from 1967 to 1973 was spectacular, not for longevity, but for intensity. Rundle played volleyball at UCLA when it was a club sport with such legendary teammates as Ernie Suara and Keith Erickson. He was the star of the epic 1968 United States Olympic team match in Mexico City against the dreaded Soviet Union. Behind Rundle's dynamic hitting, the U.S. beat the heavily favored Soviets in a 5-set preliminary round match, one of the greatest victories in U.S. volleyball history. In the very next match against Czechoslovakia, Rundle landed on the referee stand and sprained his ankle. He never played another point in the Olympics, and the Soviets went on to win the gold medal. Disappointed, but not deterred, Rundle quickly made his mark on the open beach tournament circuit. Wearing black socks in events to play into his nerd image, the 6-foot Rundle was extremely explosive out of the sand. His best success came with the mysterious Henry Bergman, whose physical prowess helped make the duo the most entertaining warm-up team of all time. 7 of Rundle's career victories came when he partnered with Bergman. He also won 5 times with Bob Clem and once with Ron Von Hagen. His greatest victory came with Bergman at the 1968 Manhattan Open in one of the most legendary finals in the history of the sport. Rundle and Bergman battled Von Hagen and Ron Lang for over 6 hours on that Sunday, squaring off in both the winner's bracket final and the championship double final. It was pitch dark by the end of the match, and it finally ended when Lang couldn't see the ball anymore in the last game to 15, handing the victory to Rundle and Bergman. Rundle would go on to win the Manhattan Open for a second time with Bob Clem in 1971. Larry Rundle was like a beach volleyball comet, streaming across the sky for a short but spectacular time with enough burning intensity to land in the Hall of Fame.
Look at him move. Take him two at a time, Larry. Larry Rundle. You know, each of us out, sitting out there has been exposed to volleyball somehow. Someplace along your life, you saw someone who inspired you, captured your fancy, who introduced you to the game of volleyball, and Larry was one of those for me. It was about 1967 or so. He was playing in a AA tournament at Sorrento. I was a little grommet playing just about every day down at Sorrento in Santa Monica. And I saw a AA tournament. I'd seen Lang and Von Hagen playing stuff, but here I saw a tournament where even a guy like Larry could get girls if you were a good enough volleyball player. And I thought, this sport has promise. And he was playing with Greg Miller, a UCLA teammate, I believe. And he's playing with Bobby and Brian Jones, who were wearing Batman shirts, and Mitch Malpe and Danny Patterson, and some great athletes. And I thought, geez, look at this. I considered myself an athlete. I said, this is the sport for me. Look at these beautiful girls, good athletes, sunshine, take a dip in the ocean. And Larry was the one that got me going on the road to volleyball. So I have to thank him for that. Did you win that tournament? No, not Manhattan, Sorrento AA.
No, Henry, no.
He didn't win that tournament.
Greg Miller? Yeah. Yes, we won. Yeah.
Okay. Physically, he's still doing fine even today, and so Larry goes on to be a great player, and I hear about his exploits in the '68 Olympics in Mexico City, and he goes on to play with Henry Bergman in the '68 Manhattan Open that you heard about. He's just amazing. And in 1971, I think it is, he played with Bobby Clem, and I was playing with my brother Greg, and Greg says he reffed every one of the games that you every one of the tournaments that you won. I think you were 5 out of 6 or something that year. And Greg sat on the stand and watched, and he said, and he learned something from you, because he went on to win a lot of tournaments too. He said Rundle had the mental focus, like Ron Lang, to defeat you with his brain, with his mind, and his confidence. And all of us know how critical that is. Whether you're in the Olympics or playing in high school or wherever you're playing, you got to have that mental game, and Larry had that in spades. It is what he needed after those 5.5 hours or something in Manhattan to win that tournament, and throughout his career he always had that. And then he wanted to have a career. I don't think he made a penny for winning that '68 Open. No, nothing. So the rest of you that won a lot of pennies, think about it. His motivation was purely to be the top of the beach volleyball subculture, and people battled long and hard to do that with no compensation. Larry later decided he wanted some compensation and got an actual job. He'd come out to the beach and he'd be white. The rest of us are tan and strong. Larry'd be white with zinc oxide on his face, and not really the archetypal beach volleyball stud, and he'd still win. So that's the tribute to Larry Rundle. Still going. I had the privilege of coaching his son, Wes, and marveling at his amazing daughter, Brooke, as she became a volleyball player as well. And through all the years, I played with him on the Santa Barbara Spikers and indoors and again on the beach, and he was always just a study in class and competence and aggressive, quick twitch muscle fiber. He's got it in spades. So congratulations, Larry Rundle.
Thank you very much, John. It's a real pleasure and honor to be here and to be recognized for something that occurred so many years ago. And trying to think of some of the thoughts that I might have for this gathering. I try to think back to when we started, and like probably all of you in the room, you would go down to your local beach. And there was a court 1 and a court 2 and 3 and 4, and there was a pecking order of what courts you played on and who got to play. And like a lot of you, on the particular beach that we played at, which was Sorrento, there was 2 mean old bullies that covered and dominated on court 1, named Ronnie Von Hagen and Ronnie Lang. And Ronnie Lang, being the sensitive, caring person that he was, he would get on the court and dominate just, all day. And he would take great relish in trying to beat you. We played to 11 to try to take the guys out at 7-0. And if he, after he would do that, it was like he just was enjoying it so much that I just had to be able to eventually beat Ron Lang and Ron Von Hagen. But it took a long time to be able to do that. And I think that there's a lot of you that have similar stories of somebody that you were trying to beat, and you kept on chasing them and chasing them and chasing them. And that's how you get better. And that's how you get a lot better. In my case, I was very fortunate. I met a young guy who wandered up to me at the AA beach in Sorrento and said, "You want to play next year?" And I said, "Sure. What's your name?" "Henry." "Oh, yeah, Henry, let's play." And that was the end of the conversation. And I didn't hear from him again until a week before the first East Beach tournament up in Santa Barbara, and we played together, and it was miraculous playing with him. He was fantastic. A couple of years later, I met a young guy that played on our indoor team at the Chart House that I met. I knew him from Sorrento Beach and State Beach. Bobby Clem was Southern California. He grew up in the Santa Monica Canyon, I think he was in the first class of Palisades High. He was a terrific athlete. Met him on the Olympic trials. He was super on the Olympic trials. We then played on his Chart House team indoors, and at the national championships in Hawaii that year, 1970, he was, in my opinion, he was the best player in the tournament. We won that tournament. We had a great team. We had Mike Bright and Rudy Sawara and Danny Patterson, but Bobby was an All-American that year, and I thought he should have been the MVP of that tournament. But anyway, we got to know each other a little bit better, and then we decided to hook up in '71, and he was so steady. He was just pass, set, hit, and it was just, that was what it was about. Now, as I was looking at some of those pictures, that's maybe like hitting maybe one ball and a half above the net. I was recently walking through the Thousand Oaks Mall, and I happened to come across, I was just walking by Phil Dalhouser. And Phil is one big dude, and I've never met him, so I don't know him, and he didn't know me. I just kind of walked next to him by myself, and he went on. And he had long arms, and he's up here, and I just can't imagine what it would be like trying to hit against him. My little ball and a half shots, I would have been eating leather constantly. And that's what the guys nowadays are having to face. I mean, blocking over, hitting against 7-footers, it would have been very, very, very tough. But last comment, I'm just thrilled at the development of the game with the kids playing in organized tournaments. Gals can play beach volleyball and get scholarships. The amount of scholarships available for the young girls that can play indoors, it's fantastic. And then, of all things, to turn on in the Olympics, to turn on at 7 o'clock, NBC national coverage. There they are playing right in London on national television, and there's old Chris Marlowe announcing, and our gals, our good Americans are winning the gold medal. I'm just so thrilled at how far the game has come and how far you all have brought it. So I'm very honored. Thank you very much.
From 1969 until he retired from serious competition in 1974, Bob Clem was one of the most consistent players on the open circuit. He won his first tournament at Rosecrans with Gene Pfluger and went on to win tournaments with Larry Rundle, Ron Lang, Matt Gage, and Ron Von Hagen at beaches as far north as Santa Cruz and as far south as San Diego. Clem not only played with great players, he also beat the best. The list of legendary Hall of Famers he beat in tournament finals includes Von Hagen, Gage, Greg Lee, Butch May, Mike Bright, and Henry Bergman. Clem was a versatile athlete, playing both basketball and volleyball at San Diego State in the late 1960s. On the volleyball court, he was an excellent all-around player, known for his meticulous preparation and attention to detail. Bob could bring plenty of heat when attacking, but was also superb at executing the off-speed shots. In one famous match, he and Matt Gage trailed Von Hagen and Greg Lee 10-2 in the finals of the 1972 Laguna Open. Clem made 6 consecutive shots that just hit the rope each time to come back and win the match and the tournament. Bob Clem was also one of the few players who held down a full-time job while competing. A successful businessman and entrepreneur, he helped build the Chart House restaurant chain and went on to operate several other restaurants. Bob Clem's place in beach volleyball history was most certainly cemented with his 1971 victory at the Manhattan Open. With partner Larry Rundle, Clem beat the legendary team of Von Hagen and Bergman to take his place among the beach volleyball greats whose names are permanently inscribed on the pier. And now, his name is permanently inscribed in the Beach Volleyball Hall of Fame.
I had the real privilege of playing with Bobby. He was absolutely flawless in his ability. He was very smooth, very consistent, and totally dependable. I mean, he was a great player. He was a terrific indoor player, terrific outdoor player, and I had a great experience playing with him. Bobby is got a great winning record. I mean, the fact that he won with that many guys, that's pretty hard. That's, against really good competition. So Bobby, it's well deserved. You were a tremendous teammate both indoors and outdoors, and I'm thrilled and honored to introduce you into the Hall of Fame.
Larry, thank you. I just wanted to say a few words before you leave. Well, I'll say them anyway. I'm so appreciative of the people who thought I played well enough to receive this. The sport is one of the greatest sports in the world. Competition is one of the greatest adrenaline rushes you can ever get. And as I see the sport evolve, and I've been out of it for a long time, I watch the progression of people that have come up and been successful in learning how to win, because it is a process. Learning to win takes a lot of effort. It just doesn't happen. And that alone is a lesson in life. But to watch the young people sitting here today who have the aspirations of being the best they can be, you're a winner if you do that. Not all of you may be at the top of your, be the pinnacle of the sport, but it's that competition that's really important. And getting to Larry Rundle, I don't think he got his just dues. I played with a number of partners through my career, and I would love to be able, in fact I am. I've got a few names that I need to recognize. People like Jack Henn in San Diego, who was a mentor of mine. I went to San Diego State, and I played basketball there. But I chose San Diego because they had a club team in volleyball, and I wanted to be close to the beach, and I wanted to play in the sand, I wanted to play volleyball. And that was when they had club teams. They didn't have the NC2As, they didn't have all the organization they have today. And what a great decision that was, because Jack Henn and people like him introduced me to, actually allowed me to come to him and play with the Sand and Sea Club, which was an indoor team at that time with a lot of great talent. Ronnie Lang was there. And I'm trying to remember the names. I'm sure that Bright was there. The particulars escape me at this moment. But the people who started the winning tradition in this volleyball, from beach volleyball, the Bernie Holtzmans, the Gene Selznicks, Ronnie Langs, Von Hagens, they were the pioneers of the sport. They inspired me when I went down to State Beach at a very young age in high school, and I saw Mike O'Hara and Bright playing Ronnie Lang and Gene Selznick, and what an inspiration that was. And I'm sure that you'll have your inspiration. They're probably modern day players today because they're big and tall and fast, and the game's evolved to where your technical abilities are, you need to be so much greater than we did. Although, Larry, I want to give you your just dues. I think you inspired me such greatness. I mean, I remember going to Larry's house before the tournament in Manhattan Beach, and he had the USC fight song on. And it was, and he turned the volume up to about 10. And he sat there and looked me in the eye and he said, "We're going to win this thing." And we did. It was that kind of competitive challenge and confidence that Larry exuded. And Larry, I'll thank you for it the rest of my life. But I want to remind you that during that year, that circuit in '71, that we started blocking over the net. And because the indoor game that we played and loved as well, the six-man, we started blocking consistently. And that really helped us because we had a lot of block games and beat a lot of good teams because we were better blockers. Just remember, Larry, I want you to make sure you knew that. Anyway, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Barbara Fontana's long and successful career is a testament to the characteristics that make a great beach player: hard work, perseverance, and impeccable all-around volleyball skills. Born and raised in Manhattan Beach, Barbara graduated from the volleyball factory that is Maricosta High School and led her teams to both CIF and national championships. She went on to be a 4-year starter at Stanford, where her teams made it to the Final Four each year. At 5'6", she was almost always the smallest hitter on the court, but with an explosive jump and arm swing, she went toe-to-toe with opponents a full head taller. Fontana's professional beach career spanned over 25 years, and she's played in an astonishing 301 professional tournaments, second all-time. To put that in perspective, during her career, we changed presidents 5 times, bathing suit styles changed at least 6 times, and the rules of beach volleyball changed at least 20 times. Barbara graduated from law school, passed the bar, actively practiced law, got married, and had 2 children, all while competing full-time on the professional tour. During her 25 years as a professional, she won 20 domestic and international events and finished in the top 5 184 times. She partnered with many of the best players of her generation, beginning with beach volleyball legend and high school classmate Holly McPeak. She enjoyed the longest and most successful partnerships with Diane Denicochet, Lori Forsyth, Linda Hanley, and Lisa R.C., but also found success with Carrie Dodd, Elaine Youngs, Jennifer Kessy, Deb Richardson, Jenny Kropp, Elaine Youngs, and many others. Barbara was the prototype defender. She was as quick as they come and could cover as much court as any player on tour. She was also a pinpoint passer and precise bump setter with flawless ball control. Opponents would often look at Barbara's height and assume that the one area they could exploit was her offense. Bad assumption. Barbara possessed one of the best jumps on the beach and would punish anyone who underestimated her attacking skills. Having grown up on the sands of Manhattan, Barbara's greatest victory came at the 2001 Manhattan Open, where she beat Lisa R.C. and Holly McPeak in the finals to have her name inscribed on the pier. But her proudest moment came in 1996 when she and partner Linda Hanley represented the United States at the Atlanta Olympic Games and became part of history as a member of the first USA Beach Volleyball Olympic team. After retirement, Barbara continues to be actively involved in the sport, coaching both professionals and the next generation of young players. Barbara Fontana is proof that you don't have to be the tallest player on the court to be a Hall of Famer.
Thank you, Linda. That was so sweet. I just want to say a big thank you to the Hall of Fame. It's a huge honor to be inducted into this Hall of Fame. Beach volleyball has been such a wonderful part of my life, and I feel so fortunate to have been able to make a living doing something that I love, and meeting all the wonderful people that I met, and seeing these amazing places as we traveled all over the world. I do want to thank my family and my friends for always supporting me with my endeavors and helping me not only reach my dreams and my goals, but also enjoying the ride. So I just want to say thank you again. It's quite an honor, and I'm happy to be here.
These days, beach volleyball is truly an international game. But up until the early 1990s, it was a very different story. The sport, particularly the men's game, was dominated by Americans, almost all from California. The dominant tour in the world, the AVP Tour, did not have a single foreign-born player. So when a young Jose Loyola from the small Brazilian town of Vitoria and his partner, Eduardo Anginho Basile, started entering AVP events in 1993, they were a real curiosity. And even though the Brazilians were accomplished in their home country, Jose was a junior national champion in Brazil and had competed in FIVB events. There was no shortage of skepticism about their chances of success on the AVP Tour. That skepticism was quickly stuffed out as Jose and Anginho had a tremendous rookie season, finishing in the top 5 in 11 events, including 4 second-place finishes. And it was impossible to be skeptical once you saw Jose hit a volleyball. There have been many players with hops in the history of professional beach volleyball, but perhaps no one has soared out of the sand higher and with more grace than Jose Loyola. With his whip of an arm, he could hit high and hard over the biggest of blocks. Even jaded tour vets would crowd around his court during those early years just to gawk at his hitting. After his successful partnership with Anginho, Jose took his game to another level on the AVP Tour, first with partner Adam Johnson and then with Kent Steffes. Jose won 11 tournaments with Johnson and 17 with Steffes, including 13 victories in 1997, one of the best seasons in history. Jose was voted the best offensive player on the AVP Tour 4 times and was named the Tour MVP in '97. Jose backed up his athleticism with quintessential Brazilian enthusiasm and fire. As Jose grew more comfortable on the AVP Tour, he let his dynamic personality shine, exhorting the crowd to cheer him on after a good play. He quickly became a fan favorite. In the late 1990s, Jose started focusing more on the growing international circuit. He won 20 times on the FIVB Tour, primarily with Emmanuel Rigo, winning the FIVB Tour Championship in 1999 and representing Brazil in the Sydney Olympics. He and Rigo were named by the FIVB as one of the 2 best volleyball teams of the 1990s. While Jose will always be a proud Brazilian, he has truly found a home in the beach cities of California. He married his lovely wife Pam, a Manhattan Beach native, and settled down here, raising 4 children. He passes on his love of volleyball through his club program and coaching with U.S. Volleyball. He is as passionate about beach volleyball as a coach as he was as a player. While his roots will always be planted in Brazil, he has found his rightful place here in the California Beach Volleyball Hall of Fame.
In '97, he started to play with Steffes, and he played with Steffes in '97 and '98. And in '97, they were the top team, and they were pretty incredible together. But Loyola was just starting to learn how to win, and he got so good at, there's a confidence level. Once you win, then you think you can win again, and he started to pick that up, and all his skills started to get better. I mean, he was always trying to make himself a better player and a better person. He used to do these workouts at Gold's Gym with Flavio. Was that guy's name? Flavio. And I went and watched one time, and they're doing these plyometrics, and it's a 2-hour workout, plyometrics, weights, and then they're doing these stretch, and he's all the way outstretched, and then we'd go work out on the beach against Billy D over there. He was terrible.
William D.
Billy D. But, you know, for those 4 years that I was coaching with Loyola, he was by far, he was the best player. The guy was incredible. He was doing stuff that I never thought about doing when I played. He just took it to a new level, and he got so good and was so, I don't know, you know, the one word I just want to say that it's his passion. He has a passion for life, and he had a passion for volleyball. I think that to me explains Loyola. It's just he's really passionate about life, and he always had been. He always made it fun for me to coach. It was fun to hang out with him. We go on those trips, and even during these games, like, you know, I felt like I was playing when he was playing. You know, I don't know if you remember this. There was this one time, now he was starting to get good, so he could do what he wanted to. And he's playing Stokey, and it's 14. He's got 14, and he looks over at me, he goes, Mengi, watch this. And I'm going like this. So he hits this jump serve, ace down the line, and Stokey just exploded. He just went, dude, you can't talk to him during the game. He just went nuts. But I never forget that. He just says, watch that. I go, Stokey, I didn't tell him to jump serve down the line. He just, whatever. It was. Loyola was, in my opinion, one of the best guys to ever play beach volleyball. And it was my honor to coach him. So he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for sure.
It's an honor to be here, remember between all Loyola's great partners. Thank you, buddy. Well, I saw him rise and shine. I'm probably the only witness who saw him growing up in Brazil from the humble beginnings. Playing basketball, playing soccer, and playing volleyball at the ending. And I was glad to meet him like I was 17 years old. We got a great relationship to the day. True and bad, being cheap as the way he is, but we know that, Jimmy. But it's been a great journey. I think he deserves to be here. He was a best friend and a great player.
Wow, what can I say? This guy's pretty much said everything. I'm gonna take Barbara's speech. I'm gonna be really short. Although I'm not a good storyteller, so I promise I'm gonna keep this short. But well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for those two guys, because those two guys, they represent the landmark in my career. Anjinho, because we came here together from Brazil, and he brought me here. He was like the guy, my partner, my friend, my brother. We came together and we conquered, be able to come from Brazil to a different country and be able to compete in the best tour back in these days. It was awesome. I think that landmark that he set brought me in here, come here. He was the one with the initiative in Brazil. Hey, we gotta go check it out. We gotta go to California. And then I come in here and I meet this guy, Jay Mangus, that another landmark in my career that took my game to a different level. I think with him, that's how I learned how to win the game. I think with his mentality, his toughness, I think I've learned a lot from this guy, you know what I mean? Not to mention that, there's a lot of people that I like to say thank you throughout my career, you know what I mean? But if I'd be here, say thank you to everyone, I would have been here all day, because I've got a lot of people that the reason why I was so successful, because I have a lot of people behind me, be able to help me out with workouts, be able to help me out with training, and also too my family, you know what I mean? That's the biggest help of all. I think without them, it wouldn't be nothing, you know what I mean? It's nothing like when you are an athlete and you know that no matter where you go, no matter what you do, you're still gonna have people that backing you up, no matter what happens, no matter how good you are, no matter the results, if you win or lose. I think they're all consequence of the game. but be able to have a strong foundation with your family, I think that's really important in the game. And also to be surrounded of friends. And a lot of people asking me though, what is the greatest tournament, the greatest thing you have accomplished? And I said until today, you know what I mean? For me, I'm not gonna say one tournament that made my career or 2 or 3. I think being here and being part of this, I think that's the great honor for me. And the great landmark, the great highlight of my career. You know what I mean? Nowadays, I'm like Manga said, I'm coaching. I'm able to, I'm coaching some of the USA Volleyball, some of the athletes that are here. We had a great experiences, great tournaments this year. You know what I mean? And I think for me, it's this life, it's not like a journey. It's a destination that I still haven't accomplished yet. It's just like my volleyball career. I had a great journey into today, but that's not the destination. There's a lot more to come, and the way I'm gonna try to prove that, it's like coaching, passing along my passion, what I have for the sports, and be able to help other people, be able to help other players. And I think to me, that's the only thing that I can left, you know what I mean, until this day. You know, be able to pass along everything I've learned about this game, that it wasn't because of this game, I would have been here in California, in this country, I wouldn't have met my family, I wouldn't have nothing that I have. My best friends here, the people that I love, it's all because of beach volleyball. That's all I have to say.